Ashtottara Shri Śrīmad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON BBT Founder-Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantharaj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande Hare Hare. Thank you for the kirtan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 12, entitled Mohini Murti Bewilders Lord Shiva, verse number 15. Thank you. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kautuhalaya Daityanam Yoshid Vesho Maya Dhritaha Pashyata Surakaryani Gate Piyusha Bhajane. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kautuhalaya Daityanam Yoshid Vesho Maya Dhritaha Pashyata Surakaryani Gate Piyusha Bhajane. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kautuhalaya Daityanam Yoshid Vesho Maya Dhritaha Pashyata Surakaryani Gate Piyusha Bhajane. Kautuhalaya Daityanam Te Piyusha Bhajane. Mataji. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kautuhalaya Daityana Yoshid Vesho Maya Dhritaha Surakaryani Gate Piyusha Bhajane. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kautuhalaya Daityana Yoshid Vesho Maya Dhritaha Pashyata Surakaryani Piyusha Bhajane. Shri Bhagavan Kautuhalaya Daityana Yoshidvesho Maya Dhritaha Pashyada Surakaryani Gate Piyusha Bhajane. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kautuhalaya Daityana Yoshidvesho Maya Dhritaha Pashyata Surakaryani Gade Piyusha Bhajane. Word to word translation responsively, please. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Kautuhalaya, for the bewildering, Daityanam, of the demons, Yoshit Veshaha, the form of a beautiful woman, Maya, by me, Dhritaha, assumed, Pashyata, seeing that it is necessary for me, Surakaryani, for executing the interest of the demigods, Gate, having been taken away, Piyusha Bhajane, the jug of nectar. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, when the demons took away the jug of nectar, I assumed the form of a beautiful woman to bewilder them by directly cheating them, and thus to act in the interest of the demigods. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead assumed the form of the beautiful woman Mohini Murti, the demons were certainly captivated, but the demigods present were not. In other words, those who maintain a demoniac mentality are bewildered by the beauty of a woman. But those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, or even those on the platform of goodness, are not bewildered. The Supreme Personality of Godhead knew that because Lord Shiva is not an ordinary person, he cannot be bewildered even by the most beautiful woman. Cupid himself tried to invoke Lord Shiva's lusty desires in the presence of Parvati. But Lord Shiva was never agitated. Rather, the blazing fire from Lord Shiva's eyes turned Cupid to ashes. Therefore, Lord Vishnu had to think twice about what kind of beautiful form would bewilder even Lord Shiva. Consequently, he was smiling gravely as stated in the previous verse. Prahasya bhava gambhiram. A beautiful woman generally cannot induce Lord Shiva to be lusty. But Lord Vishnu was considering whether there was any form of woman who could enchant him. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanutam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Bhutair Mahatbhir Yaima Puro Vibhu Nirmaya Shete Yadamusha Purusha Bhungte Gunan Shodashatmaka Solankrishishta Bhagavan Vacham Sime. Hare Krishna. In response to Lord Shiva's prayers, here the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself is responding out of his great compassion. In this verse, we can see the glories of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is such a great personality that material lust cannot attack him. He's such a great personality. So much so that Mother Parvati was meditating and worshipping Lord Shiva very intimately. That is the time Kamadev, Cupid, tried to bewilder Lord Shiva. We know the history of Mother Parvati. Who was Mother Parvati in the previous birth? Sati. She was so powerful. Who is she? Who is Sati Devi? Who is she? Daughter of Daksha, we know. But in terms of her prowess, who is she? Yeah, she is the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter. What is the verse? Deviheshi gunamayi mama maya duratteya. That is the prowess, that is the potency of Durga Devi. And that same personality is Mother Sati Devi. And that Sati Devi, she decided to take her own life. Why? Because she wanted to make a point. Could Daksha do anything to Sati Devi, his daughter? Because she is the manifestation of the external energy. She is the external energy of the Lord. Duratya. No one can overcome her. Daksha cannot do anything to Sati Devi. That is the power of Sati Devi. Rather, Sati Devi can destroy unlimited number of Dakshas. But still, she chose to quit her body. However, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, in the 4th canto, she was so attached to her husband, Lord Shiva, that in the next birth, she again chose to have Lord Shiva as her husband. And since she is the daughter of Parvata, Himalaya, so her name became Parvati. So this is the history of Parvati. And Parvati, as she got birth and as she grew up, she was looking for a suitable husband, and she knew who her husband was, and that was Lord Shiva. And that's why she directly tried to worship Lord Shiva in a very intimate fashion. And Cupid tried to induce lust in the heart of Lord Shiva, but Lord Shiva was unaffected by the acts of Cupid, Kamadev. Rather, Lord Shiva became angry, and he opened his third eye and burnt Kamadev into ashes. So this is the potency of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is Vaishnavanam Yadha Shambhu. And his potency is so much that Lord Shiva has his own tattva. Lord Shiva has his own tattva. Lord Vishnu has Vishnu tattva. All the Vishnu expansions are coming from Krishna. Similarly, Lord Shiva has his own tattva, that is Shiva tattva. It is considered Shiva tattva is complicated. It's not so easy to understand. There are few things very difficult to understand. One is Shiva tattva. Another one is Guru tattva. We cannot understand Guru so easily, the position of Guru. He is so intimately connected to the Supreme Lord, it's not so easy to understand. We cannot understand so easily the position of Srila Prabhupada in the ultimate sense. Similarly, Lord Shiva's tattva is so high so that it's not so easy to understand. And so, since Vishnu expands, similarly Lord Shiva expands. So Lord Shiva has his position at the entrance to the spiritual world as Sadashiva. Sadashiva. And that form is completely transcendental. This form is explained in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, in Lakhu Bhāgavatam. To get to that abode of Lord Shiva is very difficult. Only devotees can be there. There Lord Shiva is continuously worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even in the hierarchical journey of Gopakumar, when Gopakumar left the material world and was about to enter the spiritual world, in between he was trapped in Brahma Jyoti, in the impersonal effulgence of the Lord, and he was almost getting merged to the impersonal effulgence, and he felt such severe fear and anxiety. Because for a devotee, merging into the impersonal light, effulgence, is suicidal. Suicidal. Srila Prabhupada calls it as spiritual suicide. Why? A devotee loses the opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord. That's the reason it is mentioned by Prabhupada Saraswati. Kaivalyam narakayate. Very famous verse. He's strongly presenting. And when non-devotees hear, and especially those who are not from the Gaudiya Sampradaya, when they hear this verse, they get shocked. Kaivalyam narakayade tridashapura akasha pushpayade. Srila Prabhupada quotes this verse often. Kaivalyam narakayade. Kaivalya means merging into the impersonal Brahman is like going to hell. It is hellish. And non-devotees, they can be spiritualists, but they get shocked. What are you speaking? How can you say Kaivalyam narakayate? Kaivalya becomes narakatulya, equal to the hell. How is it possible? The reason is a devotee loses the identity and an opportunity to serve Krishna. Bhakti means personalism. Bhakti means service, because that is the expression of love. And if a devotee loses, or if one comes to a point, even one may lose that, the devotee is in anxiety. That's what happened to Gopakumar. And he was in that anxiety. Suddenly, he saw an effulgent personality coming on top of a bull. You know who is that personality? That is Lord Shiva, Sadashiva. Not Shiva in this world, Sadashiva, who is at the periphery to the spiritual world, completely situated in transcendence. And then Lord Shiva comforted Gopakumar and took him to his abode. So Lord Shiva certainly allows those who are devotees to pass through his realm and go to Vaikuntha and beyond. But those who are not devotees, he will not allow. And that's why Lord Shiva's role is, he is the Dham Palak, Dhama Palak, who is a protector of Dhama. India, if you go to ancient temples, ancient Vishnu temples, you can see nearby there will be a temple of Lord Shiva. Isn't it? You go to Jagannath Puri. What is the entrance to Jagannath Puri? What is the entrance to Jagannath Puri? You know? Bhuvaneshwar. Bhuvaneshwar. Bhuvaneshwar, who is in Bhuvaneshwar? Lord Lingaraj. Lord Lingaraj, very beautiful temple, I have been there. So Lingaraj is there. So one can go to Puri by getting the mercy of Lord Shiva. So the Lingaraj is the Dham Palak. He is protecting the Dham. And next to, pretty much in the same compound, you can say, other side of the Bindu Sarovar, there is Ananta Vasudev. Small temple. Vasudev temple is the ancient system was that first they offer bhoga to Vasudev, and that prasadam will be offered to Lingaraj. Of course, that tradition was broken. That's why Srila Prabhupada says, first we have to offer to Krishna and then to any other demigods or other great personalities. That is the way to do it. So that system did exist at one point, but that system is broken. So if devotees want to offer anything to Lord Shiva, first offer to Krishna, that prasadam offer to Lord Shiva. So Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Similarly, is the same Lord Shiva is there in Tirupati? Yes? Where? Kalahasti. Near? Is he considered connected to Venkatesh? No. Okay. But in the hills, one of the hills is dedicated for Lord Shiva, right? Of the 7 hills. No? Shiva temple is there. In Guruvayur, I know, there is Mammur is there. Because Guruvayur, famous Krishna temple in Kerala, that temple is known as Rudra Tirtha. Rudra Tirtha. Why it is known as Rudra Tirtha? Because Rudra was meditating there. And from Dwaraka, Guru and Vayu, that is Brihaspati and Vayu, wanted to bring in the deity of Vishnu, worshipped by the queens of Dwaraka. Because they knew Dwaraka is now merging into the water, and that deity wanted to be preserved, so they brought that deity all the way to South India. And when they saw this place, they understood this is the most auspicious place. So they went, they saw Lord Shiva meditating there, Rudra. So Brihaspati and Vayu asked Lord Shiva, tell us a very auspicious place to install this deity. Lord Shiva said, where I am sitting, this is the most auspicious place. So I will leave this place. So he went to Mammur. So that Lord Shiva temple is there in Mammur. And Lord Vishnu, worshipped as Krishna, is in Guruvayur. So you can see, and similarly, we have Lord Shiva in Vrindavan, right? We have Gopishwar Mahadev is there, Dhameshwar Mahadev is there, Chakleshwar Mahadev is there. So we have different forms of Lord Shiva being worshipped in Dham as well, in Vrindavan as well. Similarly, you go to Mayapur, go to Yogapith. Is there Lord Shiva in Yogapith? The birthplace of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu? Yes. Behind, where the tree is there, behind there is Shivalinga is there. So you can see Vaishnavanam Yadha Shambhu, that Lord is present everywhere, even from the spiritual world to the Dham in the material world. So this is one aspect of Lord Shiva. Apart from that, he has the existence. When Lord Shiva appeared, who knows 3rd canto of Bhagavatam? When Lord Shiva appeared in this world? Before Brahma. This is what? Before Brahma, when Lord Shiva appeared. Who knows? Exactly from the glance of Mahavishnu. The creation is glance of Mahavishnu unto Pradhan. And who is that? What is that glance? The Jiva is being transferred through that glance. Who is enacting in that? The personality who is present in that glance is Shambhu. Shambhu. And that Shambhu interacts with the material energy. That's why Tat Shambhutam eva, Brahma Samhita says, Prabhupada often quotes this verse. The yogurt and the milk example. Milk being converted into yogurt. So this is exactly talking about that glance, because Lord Vishnu cannot directly interact with Maya Devi. Wherever Krishna is there, Maya has to be behind. She cannot be in the front. Krishna, Surya Saman, Maya hoy, Andhakar. So wherever Krishna is there, Maya cannot be there. And for the purpose of interacting, Lord Vishnu is converted into Shambhu. So this is another aspect of Shambhu. So this is before creation, this is before, or at the time of creation, it's even before the appearance of Lord Brahma. So this is Shambhu. This is another aspect of Sadashiva. So here we are explaining the Vishnu, the Shiva Tattva. Then, what is the other appearance of Lord Shiva? You already told. That is Rudra. Because he was crying, Rodati, crying. From the, between the eyebrows of Lord Brahma, because he wanted to produce progenies, and Kumaras refused. So it is said, for a higher purpose, one can refuse the order of father, even in the Vedic culture. Kumaras are the example. The Kumaras were told, okay, you get married, because my duty, my service is to produce children. Progenies have to be there, and for that, you had to produce children. But the Kumaras refused. Why? Because they were already self-realized, and they had a higher goal. And so, they refused. And it is not considered as an offense because of this reason. Because for a higher purpose. That too in direct connection to the Supreme Lord. But Brahma became angry, and so Rudra was produced. So there are 11 Rudras. So they immediately they started annihilation straight away. They started producing all different kinds of personalities, and Brahma said, come here, please go and perform austerities. This is not the time of destruction. When the time of destruction comes, I'll call you, then come and do the destruction. So Lord Shiva, that's why in the material world, when you see Lord Shiva always meditating, if you see any painting of Lord Shiva, you will see him always meditating. And he is completely absorbed in the Supreme Lord. So it's mentioned in the 4th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Sattvam vishuddham vasudeva shabditam iti iryate yatra puman apavrite. Sattvena tasmin bhagavan Vasudevo hi adhokshajo me namasa vidhiyate. So Sattvam Vishuddham. So Lord Shiva himself describes his consciousness in the Sati Daksha episode in the 4th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. He says, my consciousness is not materialistic. I am not interested who is, father-in-law, mother-in-law, respect, these kind of things are not affecting me. Daksha was on the material plane, whereas Lord Shiva was on the transcendental plane. That's why, what did he say? I am not involved in Sattvam Vishuddham, Vishuddha Tattva, pure goodness. I am situated in pure goodness. Vasudeva Shabditam, it is known as Vasudeva consciousness. That's why the Lord Krishna was born to Vasudeva, because his consciousness is Shuddha Tattva. Iti iryate yatra puman apavrite. Not avrite, apavrite. Avrite means covered. Apavrite means uncovered. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is manifested in this consciousness. That is known as Vishuddha Tattva or Vasudeva consciousness. Sattvena tasmin Bhagavan Vasudevo. With that consciousness, I am always paying obeisances unto Vasudeva in the form of Paramatma when I see anyone. In other words, even though Lord Shiva is situated in the yogic posture, when Daksha came into the assembly, Lord Shiva was paying respect to everyone, including Daksha, not simply on the body of Daksha, but the personality of Godhead who is present within. In that way, he had that transcendental vision which Daksha unfortunately couldn't understand. So this is the consciousness of Lord Shiva. So this is the Shiva, that's why we see him always meditating. We see him in his Jnana Mudra. We can hear the conversation between Lord Shiva and Narada Muni. Lord Shiva instructs Narada Muni about Bhakti Tattva. So we can see all these episodes in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And that's why in the material world, Lord Shiva is considered as the topmost devotee. That is the meaning of Vaishnavanam Yadha Shambhu. So those who are sincere devotees of Lord Shiva, they can get Krishna. We know the example of Prachetas. Prachetas performed austerities in the lake, and Lord Shiva appeared and gave the blessing. What was the blessing? Krishna mantra. So this is the role of a guru. Guru will give Krishna mantra. Srila Prabhupada gave Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. His followers, they are giving Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this is the parampara which is being followed. So this is the greatness of Lord Shiva, and so he is generally not affected by the 3 modes of material nature. In general, 3 modes of material nature is under him. Why? 3 modes of material nature. Bhavani. Who is Bhavani? Bhava is Lord Shiva and Bhavani is Mother Parvati. She is under Lord Shiva. Right? We can see even Simantini Devi, right? It's also Mother Parvati. You go to Mayapur. Did you see Simantini Devi in Rajapur? Beautiful temple, right? Nice, beautiful temple. Simantini Devi is there. She was worshipping Gauranga Mahaprabhu. We know the pastime. So this is Mother Parvati, great devotee. Lord Shiva, great devotee. And now what's happening here? Lord Vishnu is thinking. Even Lord Vishnu had to think which form that I should take. By that, I can bewilder Lord Shiva. The Vishnu knows, if I bring some material form, what will happen? Lord Shiva can open his third eye and can burn into ashes. Vishnu knows all this. He's telling, look, he knows the history. Right? He knows the history. No one can bewilder Lord Shiva. So this actually proves that the form which was assumed by Lord Vishnu, the form of Mohini Murti, is not material. Nothing material can bewilder Lord Shiva, so the form of Mohini Murti is transcendental. It is Vishnu Murti. Basically, it is Vishnu Murti in the female form. And seeing that, Lord Shiva got bewildered. So what to speak about the demons? This is a very important point. We understood the greatness, a bit of greatness of Lord Shiva, but understand the nature of demons, nature of materialism, nature of material consciousness. In material consciousnness, the woman's body, or in general opposite sex, can easily bewilder anyone, isn't it? If we find in our heart, I find in my heart, then I understand I have a tendency to be a demon. We have to identify. If we are affected by karma, we understand, okay, we are not great devotees. I have karma, means I have asuric tendencies. We control, we don't act on it, but asuric tendencies are there. We have to be mindful. So the exemplification, or we can see manifestation of this lust, we can see everywhere. Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava mahashino mahapatma vidhehametra vairina. Right? Everywhere we can see. Bewildered by the opposite gender. How to control? This is a way of controlling by the opposite sex. And the demons are completely bewildered by this, and nothing more. This is material consciousness. This is complete material consciousness. And according to the materialism, this becomes stronger and stronger. One time, Srila Prabhupada in New York, all his disciples in the renounced order were sitting right in the front. Srila Prabhupada posed a question. Why there are tall buildings, skyscrapers in this New York City? That time ISKCON had a big tall building, a skyscraper. We ourselves had skyscraper. And you can see Srila Prabhupada's photo sitting on top of the skyscraper on the roof. So Prabhupada asked, why there are all these skyscrapers? Why all this material society is running? So devotees had different reasons. Finally, Prabhupada was not happy about anything. What did Prabhupada say? Everything because of sex desire. Prabhupada said everything because of sex desire. Can you imagine? This world is running because of sex desire. And we will take a back and think, is it true? We had to deeply look into it. Because when you talk about lust, we had to understand all aspects of sex. It's not just the connection between the genders, but even more that material desire so strong. And the epitome of that is presented in the attraction between the opposite genders. So Prabhupada made this point. And Prabhupada made such interesting points. He was walking in the botanical garden and he stood underneath a tree. And there was a lot of stool there. And Prabhupada asked, why there is so much of stool here? So they were telling there are birds there, they have nests, this, so many reasons. Prabhupada said one point, it shows they are attached. They are attached to family life. That's why they are sitting there and there is stool. Like that, Prabhupada was seeing this point very clearly. And according to Srila Prabhupada, analyzing the material nature is also Krishna Katha. We say Krishna Katha, where are the pastimes? Sweet pastimes of the Lord. If you hear sweet pastimes of the Lord, very nice. Otherwise, if we talk about materialism and smashing materialism, no, it's not good. Prabhupada said that is also Krishna Katha. That is Krishna Katha. Prabhupada said in Bombay, this was coming almost towards the end of Srila Prabhupada's life. We have Srila Prabhupada's disappearance celebrations coming soon, in about 10 days, I can say. Tuesday, 2nd of November. Prabhupada was in Juhu and he really wanted to see the completion of Juhu temple. And Prabhupada was sitting there, Prabhupada was in his room, and all the construction work was going on. While the construction was going on, devotees were thinking, this is going to be very much disturbing Srila Prabhupada because his health was quite bad. His body was very frail. Devotees were thinking, this is just disturbing Srila Prabhupada. But Prabhupada said, this construction noise is pleasurable for me. It is like a music to my ears. Why? He was seeing, he promised Radha Rajbihari that I will build a temple for you. Giriraj Maharaj has written the book, I will build you a temple, right? Amazing book. So, Prabhupada was seeing, this is the fulfillment of his promise to Radha Rajbihari. So he was enjoying that. This is the consciousness of advanced devotee. And then, Prabhupada was speaking to Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj about preaching Krishna consciousness in scientific community. So that time, one devotee came all the way to Prabhupada's room and told, Prabhupada, Kirtan has started. Would you like to join the Kirtan? Prabhupada said, Kirtan is going on right now. They don't understand. Kirtan is going on right now. What is the Kirtan going on? Prabhupada was speaking about scientific preaching. This is Kirtan. Why? This is for glorification of Krishna. So Prabhupada has written brilliant purport. You can read in the first canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Anyone remembers that verse? It is one of the basis for our scientific preaching. It's not coming to my mind. Basically, it is mentioned with the intelligence. When there is intelligence, there will be all different kinds of art and culture are part of the intelligence. So in any civilized society, there will be art, culture, poetry, science, etc. And the purpose of everything is yat uttama shloka gunanu varnanam. Everything is for glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one can use anything for the glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we have art and culture, we decorate, we sing, we glorify, we write poetry. And using the science, we can show how the Lord is behind all the natural phenomena. So this is mentioned. So this is Prabhupada. So that time, this Prabhupada was seeing that Kirtan everywhere. And instead, what happens, directly opposite is materialistic society. Everything is for one's own enjoyment. That is lust. That is the essential point. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna, samudbhava. So when this mentality is there, wherever we see an opportunity to enjoy the senses. And exact opposite is Krishna consciousness. The difference between kama and prema. Kama is compared to iron, which can be rusty. And prema is compared to gold. So this is spiritual world is about prema, material world is about kama, because who is the center of attraction? Ourselves. Or we think someone else who may love, but that is simply lust. So the essential point is this material world, our enjoyment. That is kama, and opposite is prema. So that's where Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is taking us. That's where Srila Prabhupada is taking us. That's where devotees are taking us. So this is so important. And the Lord is presenting, this point is mentioned in the divine and demoniac nature. In Bhagavad Gita, which chapter? 16th chapter. Very important, very classic chapter, very classic. If you read that chapter, so much, we get such an insight into this material world. We should read that chapter and see this world, Shastra Chakshus, this, based on that chapter. It is really revealing. Amazing, if you think about it. What's going on in this world? Ishvaroham aham bhogi, siddhoham balavan sukhi. Remember this one? Ishvaroham, I am the enjoyer, I am the Ishvara. We can see the tendencies in ourselves as devotees also. Hey, people should listen to me. My proposal should be accepted. I need recognition. Ishvaroham, we have tendencies. And it is good to recognize that. Ishvaroham aham bhogi, I am the enjoyer. Devotees, we don't admit openly, but internally we go through this. Whereas non-devotees, they tell it plainly. I am the enjoyer. Enjoy life, right? Here what you say, enjoy life, enjoy your in. Everything is about enjoy. You enjoy, had a good time, right? You go to school, you go to work, you meet anyone, enjoy. This is aham bhogi. Ishvaroham aham bhogi. Siddhoham, I am perfect. Balavan, I have enough strength. Sukhi, I am enjoying. And then what is saying? You are in between my enjoyment, I'll remove you. If you are obstructing my enjoyment, I'll kill you. This is demoniac mentality. We can see that on a smaller scale and on a bigger scale. There are so much of conflicts going on in this world based on the same principle. We can see globally, internationally, we can see the same principle is applying. I am powerful, I want to enjoy. It may not be me, it can be my country, my people. We want to enjoy. You are creating obstruction, we will remove you, we will bomb you. Same principle. Ishvaroham aham bhogi, siddhoham balavan sukhi. And on a smaller scale, you see politics, you see whatever, the same principle. And that tendency we can see in our heart and we have to curb. We have to see, yes, I have this. Krishna, kindly help me to remove this. So that's the reason this demoniac's tendency can be in our heart and we need to go beyond. Through sadhana, by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, seeing the deities doing service, understanding the philosophy, and most importantly, preaching, sharing. Sharing helps a lot. When we speak about good qualities, when we think, look, I am speaking all these things, but I have my problems, so I need to work on myself. So preaching can become a reminder to ourselves. So but we have to, when we preach, don't preach beyond us. Our level, preach. Don't give too much. Otherwise we can say, yes, it is given in Bhagavatam. Prabhupada says, that's okay. But we shouldn't instruct beyond our level. That is give to someone else. They can do. So we have to speak based on our own realization. So that is applicable in our very life. And here, demons were completely bewildered by Mohini Murti and they agreed. And Lord Shiva was also agreed, but Lord Shiva was not affected by Mahamaya. So the same personality, Mohini Murti is Vishnu Tattva, she is present, but demons were bewildered by Mahamaya and devotees. Here Lord Shiva was bewildered by Yogamaya. So same personality, the effect is completely different. One was Mahamaya and another is Yogamaya. And so, since Lord Shiva was influenced by Yogamaya, even though he was bewildered, still he didn't lose his Krishna consciousness. Nor did he become inimical towards the Supreme Lord at the end of the episode. He was ashamed in one sense, if you think about it. He ran in between the sages. Can you imagine? Lord Shiva is running behind Mohini Murti. So externally, Lord Shiva is a great ascetic. His clothes are just suiting an ascetic. He has matted hair. He has ashes all over the body. He has his serpent around his neck representing Lord Sankarshan, his worshipable Lord. He has Rudrakshamala to chant Lord's name, and he is chanting Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is his mantra. And in this position, and he speaks about higher truth, that Lord Shiva ran behind a woman, externally seeing, and all the great sages whom he was instructing were present. His disciples were present. Think about the situation of a guru who is sitting, he's running behind a woman in a gross fashion in front of everyone. If you think about it, it's very humiliating. However, when Lord Shiva came back to consciousness, or when he came out of the influence of Yogamaya potency of the Lord Shiva, his love for Krishna increased. What did he say? He said, "Oh my Lord, you are so wonderful that you could bewilder me, and I am happy to be bewildered by your internal potency." This is actually bhakti. Bhakti means you had to be swept away either by Mahamaya or Yogamaya. This is the position of marginal potency. This is the position of Tatastha Shakti. We will be either on the shore or in the water. There is no in between. Is it right? Tata. If you go to the river bank, the dust particle on the river bank, either you will be on the shore or you will be in the water. Is there any position in between? No. So for a devotee want to be swept away by the Yogamaya potency of the Lord. That is Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, few energies work. There are unlimited energies. But primarily in Vrindavan, there are two energies I will speak about. One is Yogamaya. You all know about Yogamaya. Yogamaya potency works. But there is a potency that sweeps devotees even higher than Yogamaya. Do you know what is that? There is another energy which is even greater than Yogamaya. Hladini Shakti, yes, it is involved. Very good, it's involved. But there is a name to it. Srimati Radharani, that is also true, but Radharani is a personality. But we are talking about a particular Shakti, and you all know the name. It's nothing secretive. Everyone knows. It is known as love, prema. Prema is even superior than Yogamaya. So there is a beautiful analysis given in the 10th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in chapter 9 probably by Vishwanath Chakravarti, analyzing the emotions and state of Mother Yashoda. And it is very appropriate, this topic, because now we are worshipping Damodar, and it is a glorification of Mother Yashoda. Actually, in the presentation of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, why Damodar pastime was presented? Do you know why it was presented? There is the context to it. The context is to glorify whom? Mother Yashoda, actually to glorify Vatsalya Ras and devotees in Vatsalya Ras, this pastime was presented. Some people say, Bhagavatam 10 canto, it's all about Madhuri Ras, in the sense all the conjugal Sringara. No, there are so many chapters about Vatsalya Ras. And this is an epitome of Vatsalya Ras. So to show this, Maharaj Parikshit particularly asked this question to Shukadeva Goswami. Very beautiful question. How is it possible? How is it possible that Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj got the opportunity to take part in the childhood pastimes of Krishna, whereas his own parents, Devaki and Vasudeva, they didn't get that opportunity? How is it possible? So to illustrate this point, Shukadeva Goswami starts speaking about glories of Mother Yashoda. So as a precursor to Damodar pastime, he narrates one pastime just before the Damodar pastime. Who knows which pastime is that? Again, it is for the glorification of Mother Yashoda. Just before, the pastime right before, it's in the previous chapter in the 10th canto, just before Damodar pastime. Very interesting pastime. Exactly, very good. Thank you. We need to know all this. Okay, very good. You need to know all this. Okay, you are all reading Krishna book. Even if you don't go through the entire Bhagavatam Krishna book, you need to know. So, Krishna eats the mud, we know that pastime, and Mother Yashoda seeing the universe within the mouth of Mother Yashoda. So there, the commentary explains in this way. Mother Yashoda saw the entire universe, or Brahmanda, she was seeing in the mouth of Krishna, including, after some time, he could see Brahmanda, he could see even Vrindavan, he could see another Mother Yashoda. That vision was almost like if you place two parallel mirrors and you stand in the middle, what will happen? You can see so many reflections. So it was almost like that in the mouth of Krishna. Krishna was showing so many universes within so many things are going on. And after everything, there are sequence of verses presented by Mother Yashoda. Starting, what is this? Is this the bewilderment of the Devatas? Then started thinking, no, the Devatas, the demigods, they cannot bewilder me. I am just an ordinary woman. In this way, she started analyzing and finally was thinking, is it the Aishwarya, is the Shakti of my own son? It's a good point. Is this the potency of my own son? She even came to that point. After that, she even rejects that point. How she rejects that point? She thinks, my boy, he is hungry and he wants milk. Even Krishna started crying. Oh, he's hungry. So Mother Yashoda considered, no, this is nothing. This is my son. This is simply just a bewilderment. It has nothing to do with the potency of Krishna. So there it is explained. Was Mother Yashoda covered by Yogamaya potency of the Lord? It can look like that. Was she covered by the Yogamaya potency of the Lord? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says no. She was covered by Premaras. She was covered by love. So much so that Krishna was feeling, if Mother Yashoda doesn't embrace me, doesn't kiss me, doesn't feed me, I am going to miss out. So I cannot have Mother Yashoda covered by my Aishwarya potency, by Aishwarya Shakti. Rather, I cannot afford. Krishna is thinking, I cannot afford for that. Immediately, Mother Yashoda, she was already full of land. Mother Yashoda was completely covered and started nursing Lord Krishna as a baby. Can you see? So this is the power of love. So the love is even superior to Yogamaya, even though generally we say about Yogamaya, that is the bewildering potency of the spiritual world, which is true, but there is a higher potency, that is love for the devotees. And here we can see that specifically Lord Shiva is being covered by Yogamaya, but the power of that bewilderment is that enhances love. The potency of Yogamaya is such that the potency of Mahamaya means whatever bhakti we have, it will be covered. Whereas Yogamaya, because of that bewilderment, one bhakti will be enhanced. So that's what we can see in this episode. So as it is mentioned in this purport, generally demons and materialists get bewildered by seeing the beautiful form of woman. Whereas Lord Shiva is unaffected by that because he is transcendental. And Lord Vishnu had to wield his Yogamaya potency in the form of Mohini Murti to bewilder Lord Shiva. And the end was sweet because Lord Shiva's appreciation for Krishna increased. So with this, I stop and see is there any quick comments or questions. Hare Krishna. Yes, Sivya. Do we have a microphone?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the nice class.
Thank you.
You mentioned how if someone worships Lord Shiva sincerely, they can attain Krishna, like the Prachetas. So we see nowadays the worshippers of Shiva, they're usually against the Vaishnavas, even though they sincerely worship Lord Shiva. So will they ever get a chance in their life to do Krishna Bhakti?
It depends. So I'm not taking the case of being inimical to devotees. Let's not get into that point, but let's consider at least those who are worshippers of Lord Shiva in general, they do worship Lord Shiva in the capacity of a demigod. They may talk about Kailas or the eternal residence of Lord Shiva, etc., etc. But inside, the mode of worship is materialistic. And so, when someone worships Lord Shiva as a demigod, then the reciprocation will also be as a demigod. So Krishna is Ashutosh. Kshipra Prasadi. It's also meant Kshipra Prasadi. Have you heard this? Kshipra Prasadi. Very quickly he will get pleased. Why does he get pleased so easily? There's a reason. And he is very easily, he can bestow all the benedictions. Because Lord Shiva is so engrossed in worshipping the Supreme Lord, and he cannot be bothered by the material desires of his followers. So if someone comes, he doesn't want to be bothered. You want this? Okay, take it and go. This is the point of Lord Shiva, you understand? So but he becomes very interested if someone comes without material desires. So for these people who are worshippers of Lord Shiva, if their material fever reduces, then Lord Shiva will be able to help them. So there are many examples like that. When Kalidas, an example, he was a worshipper of Lord Shiva, became devotee of the Lord. There is an example of, even recent example of Narasimha Mehta in Gujarat. Have you heard of Narasimha Mehta? You might have heard the songs like, Vaishnava Janata. He was a devotee of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva came in front of him. But he was worshipping out of love, not with material desire. So he made 2 points. He told Lord, whatever is most rare and most dear. Whatever is most rare to obtain and whatever is most dear to you, please give me that. Vallabh and Durlabh. Vallabh means most dear. Durlabh means most rare. We have Radha Vallabha. So Vallabh and Durlabh. Lord Shiva said, that is only one thing. What is that? That is Krishna Bhakti. Then he became a great devotee of Krishna. And he started writing so many poems for the pleasure of the Lord. See? So it is possible. So the material desire should reduce. Otherwise, if one is completely blinded by the material desire, it's very difficult. So then the reciprocation will be as a demigod. It will be in the demigod capacity, not in the capacity as a pure devotee.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
What's the distance between the Shiva's temple to Guruvayur?
Oh, it's just a few kilometers, very near.
Roughly?
I know.
Just for my...
I can't remember now, maybe 3-4 kilometers. 2 kilometers, yeah, the Mataji knows very accurately, 2 kilometers. Yeah, thank you.
2 kilometers.
You can go next time, you can walk even.
No, the reason because the Srikalahasti, close to Tirupati, is about...
Mataji will give the map location also.
Very close. Is this the same temple where the great Bhagavatam reciter Pundanam is reciting those?
That's right, yeah.
Is the same temple?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But if it's the same temple, it can't be that close to Guruvayur because that temple one has to go through some river. That's how the pastime reveals when he forgot his Bhagavatam, so he wanted to go back to get the Bhagavatam. Then he happened to see the pastime of Lord Shiva reciting.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember, sorry.
That's why I got that.
Can't remember. No, Sthala Puranas are not on top of my head. Sorry. Yeah.
So there is another question,
Yeah.
if you don't mind this. You mentioned that, to reveal the Prema Bhakti, Prema is more than Yogamaya potency.
Yeah.
In terms of that, what Mother Yashoda has got for Lord Krishna. So I was thinking, like, if Lord allows himself to be covered by Yogamaya potency
Yes.
so that he can relish the most of his pastimes, so why is not that, Mother Yashoda?
No, the Lord is also covered by the love of his devotees. The Lord is being controlled by the love of his devotees. So prema is there everywhere.
So it's
So
not,
here
it's
you can
not the
see-
Yogamaya potency that covers.
So here, that's what happened to Krishna, because Krishna was covered by prema in this pastime, universal form. After that, Krishna couldn't handle. He wanted love of his mother. So who is more powerful? Mother's love. And Krishna is also being controlled by the love of his devotees. So much so that he gives himself to his devotees. Atma Paryanta Vadanyata. His magnanimity of giving himself to his devotees. That is considered the highest. So what is the essence of that? That's not just Yogamaya, it is prema. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you very much. Grantharaj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari.